How you doing? Sitting here on the steps of the Hagen Museum and been reviewing my life experiences, my path, my ups and downs, my epiphanies, my paranormals, my out-of-bodies, my near-deaths, and just slowly putting it all on tape. My son knows nothing about it. My brothers and sister know nothing about it. And I'm just going to keep doing it. And here's another one. Back in 1991, Wendell Stevens, the late Colonel Wendell Stevens, hosted and produced the first International UFO Congress in Tucson, Arizona. And I was lucky enough to go to that first one and had an incredible experience on so many levels with meeting people and hearing some incredible stories. At the time that event was produced, someone who was touring the United States was a female Soviet cosmonaut and test pilot Marina Popovich. And she was purporting to show these photos, I believe taken from Phobos, the Russian satellites, showing craft in the atmosphere or in space. So when I got to this conference, I was traveling with a friend of mine, Chris. We got our room, and I had a bunch of camera gear, and Chris knew this woman named Ellie Crystal, who's very famous on the internet for crystallinks.com, huge. So I ended up becoming her cameraman for several days. So there was one period of time for several hours where I'm in a room. I'm with the woman from Venus, Omniac Onyak, Corey Wolf, who did the cover art for from Venus I Came, Marina Popovich, her Soviet translator and handler, gorgeous blonde woman. And we're in a room, so I'm filming this 1-hour show that Ellie was producing for her show on the East Coast. And they're just asking about UFO stuff. So as the cameraman, Ellie looks at me towards the end of the interview and goes, "You got any questions, Don?" And I go, "Ask her if the Soviets have any stealth technology of any kind," or just, it was a general question like that. So Ellie asked the question to Marina, and the translator, who can do English to Russian, here's the question, clearly heard me ask Ellie, and what ensues is Ellie asks the question, then Marina and the translator have this very long animated conversation for a minute or two, and then Marina finally looks at Ellie and says, "Niet, we have nothing." It's just one of those funny moments. Oh my gosh. Yeah, just to know Colonel Stevens. Yeah, he was quite an amazing man. The job he had in the 50s with loading photo reconnaissance and photographs and stuff he saw. And then Colonel Bob Odine, who in the 60s saw the shape study and how Europe was dealing with the UFO intrusion into the airspace. That's where like I say, in the 76, 77, I was stationed at one of the most strategic air bases in Western Europe, Bitburg Air Base, now closed. And our pilots flew in support of other countries that had incursions into their airspace by unknowns, which is what this whole thing is about, right? Man, we're just in such a weird place right now with where the world's at. So much is happening.